Welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I want to say that I've been living here for 30 days already. I've been in the Nang and Hoi An for 30 days. So I've kind of gotten the how everything works, I kind of know how everything works, and I've experienced, I think, enough time to kind of say what I feel about some of the things that I like and I don't like about living here for 30 days. So right away, one of the first things I like actually is the quality of life. The quality of life is incredible. Everything is affordable. I wouldn't say cheap, but compared to like US prices or European prices for that matter, it's absolutely more affordable. And I'll give you some examples. My villa, or my Airbnb villa that I'm renting a room, for 30 days it cost me about, I'm just gonna sit here for a second, for 30 days $300. Well, with tax and everything, about $330, which is absolutely affordable. You can't find something like that in the US or maybe in Europe. I'm not sure. I have never lived in Europe for that long, but definitely in California, $350 doesn't get you anything. So here for 1 month, I'm paying about $325, and but unfortunately, it's a little bit away from the beach, but that's okay. To add to the quality of life, a lot of the things are cheaper. Like, well, I already talked about accommodation, and another thing cheaper is food, and definitely food. So I usually just get delivery, or sometimes I just go out and eat, like today. And when I do delivery, I get a pretty sizable meal for about $5 to $6. And if I get something like Western, it's about $10. And that's a lot cheaper than in California. In California, delivery will cost me up to $30 or $40 just for one meal. And also, when I go out and eat, it's a lot cheaper. It's about, I pay the same thing, like $5, $4, but I get a lot more for my money, right? So it's incredible. Living cheap is really good for me here. And once I get coffee or anything really, like the entrance to places or just random fees that I gotta pay, it's like $1 or $2, and that doesn't break my budget at all. One thing that I don't like about living here is the humidity. I've never lived in humidity before. I've only traveled to places like Cancun or Lima where the humidity levels are a bit higher, but I've never lived there for like maybe 30 days or 45 days. So I've never experienced humidity. And you may say, oh, why don't you like humidity? But one of the reasons why I don't like it is because some of my stuff, I've noticed that some of my stuff, like my backpack, some clothing, some items, they get moldy. They're starting to get, I start to see like something growing on them. I'm like, what is this? Is it dirt, dust? I don't know. And then later I found out that humidity causes mold, and so you have to kind of be extra prepared, and you have to, I guess, be careful with that. There's ways to avoid it, of course. And since I was a new guy here in Da Nang, in Vietnam, first time, I had no idea that was going to happen to me. But yeah, that's one thing I don't like about living here for 30 days so far. Another thing that I like about living here in Da Nang is that it's next to the beach. I'm right next to the beach, and every morning or every afternoon, or really any day that I want to like explore or go on walks or run, it's so easy to just wake up and grab a bike and just go to the beach. Well, in my case, I take a bike, but if I got like a closer location, I could literally just walk. And it's kind of changed my lifestyle like that, because I've always wanted to wake up and go run, but I've never lived next to a beach or a park. So I always had that gap in the middle that I had to go somewhere to exercise. But living in Da Nang or Hoi An, sorry, it's been really easy for me to maintain the lifestyle that I want. And so every morning or every afternoon I tend to go on the beach like this, and I just walk around and experience, the waves, experience the water. The water's really warm, so it's not even that cold. So you're allowed to swim and your body won't freeze to death like in other countries where it's colder. In California, it tends to be cold on the colder side. But yeah, so it's changed my lifestyle for sure. I really enjoyed staying next to the beach and just appreciating everything that I have. So definitely the beach and lifestyle, the environment has definitely been a big plus for me. Plus the people around it, they just make it fun. So something I don't like, number two thing that I don't like is the amount of cockroaches that I see. It's incredible, to be honest. Once I checked in at the villa, I didn't think cockroaches would be a problem. And in fact, the first few days while staying in there, I didn't experience any. I didn't see a single one. But lately, maybe in the last 2 weeks, maybe 15 days, cockroaches like this size, big, like maybe 2 coins put together, started breaking into my room, started sneaking in somehow. I had no idea. So every morning I would wake up and find one just somewhere laying or on the walls, or when I went to the bathroom they will be on the floor. And one time actually I went into the bathroom, turned the lights and didn't think I would find any cockroaches, but then as I stepped in, one of them just runs across my foot, and I got really grossed out. Cockroaches are my least favorite insects. I'll take spiders or geckos and even snakes, but cockroaches is something I don't really like to deal with too much because they're gross, and then they're very hard to kill, and especially at night when I'm sleeping and it's like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. and sometimes I randomly wake up to go to use the restroom or something where I can't sleep. I find one and they're just chilling in the room, and then I have to go and kill them, and if I miss, then they're gonna be hiding somewhere in the room and I cannot fall asleep again if I know there's a cockroach in the room and I can't find it. So, but it's happened once, I mean that I can't find it. But most of the time, I see it and I kill it, and then I go about my day, But especially at night, I don't like it when they come at night because it's very hard to see, and I'm sleeping. I don't want to be killing cockroaches. But that's something that I've noticed a lot, and I've talked to other travelers about my situation, and they say it's normal. They said, well, you have to get used to it, and I agree. At this point, I'm kind of used to it, but in the beginning, I was getting grossed out, and at one point, I wanted to just look for another accommodation, because I thought it was infested at one point. But I kind of relaxed, and then I'm like, okay, this is part of living in a humidity place near the beach in Vietnam, So I started ignoring it more. Of course, I still kill it, but it doesn't break my sleep anymore. But that's something I had to deal with it personally, because I don't think everybody feels the same way maybe as I do. But yeah, that's something I did not expect, and maybe if you're here for like a week or less, you won't experience that, because maybe the hotel staff cleaned it out, and once you get there, cockroaches don't want to smell that. Cockroaches kill. What's it called again? The poison. Yeah, they don't want to. Since they don't want to die, so they get out. They stay away from the poison that they spray, right? But yeah, that's something I had to deal with after like 2 weeks within my trip. And I think the humidity amplifies that, because I heard that they like rooms or places where it's humid, and if I close my windows and my door, because I don't have AC in my room, then it definitely gets more humid than outside, and that attracts the cockroaches that come in, and I've noticed they use the water sewage system to go inside. So it's really funny. I taped every single possible entrance that I could think of. I tape the drainage when I shower. I tape it again, so I don't want them to come in. On the roof, or sorry, the ceiling. On the ceiling, there's when you turn on something and then it starts sucking air or something. Yeah, so I don't even use it anymore. I just taped it off, and then lately it's being better. I think I did a good job. And even the AC system, I've been taping all the holes around the AC system, because it doesn't work. So why would I even let it allow to have entrances, or exits for them to come in or come out? But yeah, that's something I've been dealing with personally, battling with. But all in all, it's all good. I stayed at the villa, so I have no problem. But yeah. So the last thing that I like about living in Da Nang in Da Nang or Hoi An is definitely the weather. The weather has been a big plus for me. Coming from California, it is a good weather as well in California, but it tends to get colder. And here I have not experienced cold at all yet. And the weather is good because besides the humidity, it's always warm, and the beach is always warm, and it allows me to go outside for longer periods of time. It allows me to swim. I love swimming, but I never did it because the water is so cold in California. But here is completely warm, to be honest with you. So the weather has been one of the best things I've experienced here, living 30 days here. And then they're telling me that once the summer actually gets here, it's going to be a lot hotter. So for context, right now it's just it's winter right now. It's supposed to be winter, but the winter here is like the summer in California. Just for a comparison, you don't feel cold here, and because of the weather, I've been going out a lot more. I don't wear sweaters. I just play. And it's not even that hot. The sun is not that bright, so it doesn't really burn you as in July or June, that's when the real summer comes. I think the weather, the order of the weather is kind of like the same in the U.S. I think. So in May, June, July, and August is when summer is also here in Vietnam. So they follow the same pattern. And right now, February 22nd, I think right now it is completely no clouds, nothing hot. I'm wearing a hat for the summer. For the sun, but yeah, I'm wearing a t-shirt and shorts. It's been incredible. The weather here has been phenomenal, to be honest. I wouldn't change this weather for anything. All right, and lastly is point number 3 about what I don't like about Da Nang, or Vietnam for that matter, is that if you're a tourist, prepared to pay more for anything really. So one of the things that I've noticed is that or foreigners, I'll talk about myself first, but that whenever I'm buying something, at a local shop or something, they tend to give me a higher price. Not much, but I've noticed. Okay, so I'll explain my story. I was buying eggs. I went to a local market and I was buying eggs for the first time, right? This is the first time. And I didn't ask how much were the eggs. I just grabbed 4, and the lady's like, okay, 30,000. And I give her 50. and she gives me back 20. All right, so in my mind, I established, okay, 4 eggs is 30,000. So, okay. Next time I came to the same shop, I noticed that a different lady was there. Maybe it was like the daughter or I think it was the daughter, but it was someone younger. So, but this time for some reason I'm like, oh, let me see how much they are. Maybe I can buy more because I only had like a 60,000. And I asked her, oh, how much are your eggs? And she said, oh, they're 5,000. And then in my head, I'm like, wait a minute. So last time she charged me 30,000 for 4 eggs, and now she's charging me with a new girl. Now she's telling me that it's 5,000 per egg. So right there, and then I noticed and kind of realized that I think, yeah, foreigners tend to get a bit higher prices. I mean, I don't think they do it maliciously. I just think they just think that you have money, and they're trying to get by as well. They don't have a lot of resources or assets, and they want to make the most out of their products that they have. But at the same time, it's like an annoying thing for me, because okay, I get it. You're suffering as well. You need money, but why would I have to pay more for something that like the local person buys it for cheaper? But that's something I've noticed with a lot of travelers as well. When I told them my story, they tell me, oh yeah, that's pretty much normal here in Vietnam. And I mean, that doesn't really bother me. That's why I put point number 3 is the last one. It bothers me a little bit, but not too much to the point where I want to leave the country. And the difference is like really low. The difference is about like 10 cents, maybe 15 cents that I'm paying more. So the difference is not much at all. So yeah, those were my 3 likes and 3 dislikes about living in Vietnam after 30 days, after the experience. Now I'm just gonna go eat. I haven't eaten breakfast. It's like 9-10 a.m. right now. And then just chill. So for the next videos, I will be going to Hanoi next. So in 2 days, I have a train that I will take, and I'm going to Hanoi. It's an overnight train, so I'll be sleeping most of the time because it's night ride, but it's 16 hours. Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. So I'm gonna record everything and see how that goes, But in the meantime, till next time.